Hey folks, Sean Wieda here with Wieda's Marine. Now I'm keeping my voice down and I'm trying to be kind of quiet, all right? We are on a mission, okay, to the Ikon boat factory, okay? And we've waited till the cover of darkness. We're trying to slip in here. We've got the national sales manager, Mr. Scott Womack with Ikon Boats. I got my man Colton Cryer, and we're waiting till the coast is clear, nobody's around. You think we can sneak in and out of here?
I got the key.
He's got the key, so let's go in. You know, I've seen these boats before, not the boats that we're gonna go see, but some of the original models and some of the, you know, the early production models. So these are the kind of final product, or close to final product, and I'm pretty excited. So, all right, coast clear. All right, we get up. Our first look. Let's go inside. Wow. This is unbelievable. I just got to sit here for a second and check the boat out. So what are we looking at here? White gel with red seats, what I used to call the lipstick red seats. I tell you what, you guys you've made some cosmetic improvements since I've seen the original ones, and I'm impressed. The deck on this thing has got to literally be, and I've said this in 100 videos, this is the biggest deck in the industry, and I think I finally have found the biggest deck in the industry. I mean, this thing is humongous. Look at this. Look at the width of the trolling motor pedal. Okay? Wow. Now this is something that I've never boated. Really incorporates a kind of a cool look. Was there a reason for this, or is this is it to give it more bow flare, or why do we have this indentation right here in the middle?
That's the personal side of it, Sean.
Yeah.
That's where we want you to be able to, you know, feel like this is your hip huggers right here, baby. This hugs you right in there, kind of gives you that feel.
Absolutely amazing. Well, I tell you what, let's just do it. Let's just do kind of a jump in this thing. Let's just take a look and start going through it, okay? Scott's been a fun day, spending some time. You know, we've met a couple times before, but getting to know you a little better. And now that you guys are further along, I think it's exciting to learn a little bit more about the boats and more of the details. These two boats here are absolutely beautiful. I like the unique color and styling, you know, that you've done with both of them. And you know, I think you guys got something good going on here, and I'm glad for us being a part of it. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Sean. We're really excited about this.
Ikon Boats, it's the buzzword right now. Stay tuned. We're going to have more videos, and we're going to get out on the water, run these boats, and bring you guys some more content as always. See you later. What's up, folks at home? Sean Wieda with Wieda's Marine, and we're coming to you from our facility here, and we've got a treat for you today. The buzzword in the whole bass fishing community, in the bass boating world right now, is Ikon Boats, okay? And we are proud to announce we have in our showroom the very first retail Ikon boat that's available to the public, okay? We know Jacob Wheeler has got his boat. Some of the people at the factory and some of the associates have boats, but this is the first Ikon boat available in the country, and I've got it right here in our showroom. Let's check this thing out and take a look. So first thing I want you guys to do is just pan down the side of this boat. It's beautiful. 21-foot boat, actually almost 22-foot long boat, okay? Ikon, it brings a huge fishing platform, and I'm going to talk about it in a little bit, folks, but this boat is not new to me. I have been driving this boat. First time I saw this boat was a little over a year and a half ago. Okay, I've got some good friends at the factory who have been heavily involved in the project since day one. So the first boat that I drove from Ikon was really not a complete finished product yet. And the boat kept getting better as Jacob tested it, as different people tested it. Really exciting. We'll have footage on the water. We'll get these boats out and run them. But right now, I just want to give you guys first look from a dealer's perspective on the Ikon boat. Okay, so we're gonna start up here on the front, and what we'll see first off is we have a little different boarding ladder on the Ikon trailer. All right, I like it. We have a center mounted handle, which is a little different, but it gives good access up into the boat. All right, we've got good winch hardware, all the things we'd expect on a premium trailer, the XLT Fulton winch and an F2 jack. So anyone that's watched my videos, you'll always hear me say, guys, I think this has the biggest deck in the industry. Well, finally, I may have actually, we might have actually gotten to that point. I've said that about probably a half dozen boats that we sell. I truly think if we get out the measurements, this is probably the largest front casting deck of anything in the business. What I like about it is there is more than enough room for me, two guys to stand. I'm completely spread out right here, okay? I've got a ton of room, all right? Absolutely, probably getting to the point where we question, is it too big on the front deck? Now, I don't know if that can, you pile enough rods on here, I don't know if that can ever apply, but it is a seriously large casting deck. And it's a big boat. Remember, this boat is over 21 feet. One thing to kind of to stop the walkthrough is I have run the boat a lot, like I mentioned, and I will tell you that as a 21 plus foot boat, okay, this boat is very agile. All right, everyone wants to know how it runs. It's not a cumbersome boat. Some boats are big, and what I mean by big, they feel big when you're driving them. The turn-in radius is big. When you're fishing, when you're in the trolling motor, you're going around docks. They don't want to cut. You're fishing in a lot of vegetation, mats, reeds down in Florida. The boat doesn't want to kind of go in and out of that stuff. I don't feel that with an Ikon. Even though this is a big boat, my feel while I'm driving it is the boat feels very, very maneuverable, very spry, so to speak. But front deck, we have got absolutely a monster of a front deck. You can see the single bow mount here. There's two different options that you have to mount your depth finders, okay? You can actually mount your depth finder side by side up here, which is awesome because you can do side by side, and if you wanted to do a third mount, you can do a third mount on top of there, all right? A lot of options. It comes factory with a BoatLogix mount and a single 12. But the width of this bow, the absolute sheer beam from this point to here allows you to do some different electronic configurations that we don't see in another boat. What I like also is this large bow area here, okay? If we look down at this large bow area, even with two graphs, let's say I did two graphs here. Let's say I did two graphs here. I still have room to get up here, okay? Perfect platform to sight fish on, retrieve a snag, and I'm not tripping over grass. A lot of times you try to do that and you trip over your graph. So really winning here on the front deck on the Ikon, okay? We'll take our attention over here to the console. This is a cool feature, fiberglass console. It opens up. Reminds me of one of my first boats. An old Starfire had that console that opened up. And we can see in here, we have got a gasketed, very heavy-duty compartment. Inside here is a die-cast model that every boat owner, every Ikon boat owner is going to get one of these models of their exact color. So however you built the boat, it's going to get it, okay? And it's a nice little feature, I think. But more importantly, because I am into the rigging into the things, we got to fix all these things for you guys when they go wrong. Check this out. I have complete access to the back side of my graphs, my wiring, my hydraulic steering. I've got access to everything right here, okay? This is huge. I don't have to take the dash. I don't have to take the underneath. I don't have to go underneath the console, okay? I don't have to take the graphs out. We can access anytime we have something that we're wanting to add or we have any malfunction with our electronics, we can access everything right here. And a handy dandy little day box. What I see this perfect for is I see this day box here, absolutely your go-to spot for your little Rapala scale, your cull scale. That's like #1 prime real estate for that, in my opinion. All right. Now here we have a day box, okay? All right, day box here that removes, and look what we have underneath here. A built-in spot for your fire extinguisher. It's not coming loose, rolling around in the boat. Just another nice little thought-out thing. It's always, where do you put the fire extinguisher? 99% of the time, we just leave it loose in a box, and that's probably not the best place to leave it. I'll add that these plastic boxes are very sturdy. They're deep, okay? So we can put a lot of stuff in here. A lot of soft plastic bags, whatever, you know, really, we don't have to go into that. It's whatever you want. I think we take a second to look at the quality of the gel coat here under the compartment. We have striker plates. We have big stainless steel latches. We have a gasket that runs around there. I'm liking all this. I like how deep these channels are. See how deep this channel is? And that's one thing they were explaining to me down at HCB Yachts, okay? From anybody that doesn't understand, too, the history of Ikon, Ikon is owned by HCB Yachts, okay? These are serious saltwater boats. Some of them cost multiple millions of dollars, and you know, the Hydrosport brand gets brought up a lot. Well, really, it's HCB Yachts, and they've got some heritage with Hydrosport, but that's who's building them. You know, they're getting built down in Tennessee. We actually have another video that we shot before this, where we go down to the factory, we meet some of the people. We'll be bringing that to you guys later. We wanted to just get this out, that we've got this boat in stock in the showroom, okay? So, day box. Now, over here we've got giant rod locker. All right. So, rod locker, first thing that I notice is, if we bring our attention to the lid, is the lid opens vertically. Some of these, the lid kind of opens like this. The lid opens nice and vertically. I've got plenty of room. We've got nice little, you know, a C-deck type pad. This is very soft, okay? And it's on both sides. This is a nice add because some of the gel-coated compartments, your rods, your reels, they'll kind of rub that fiberglass, that plastic in there. But I like it. I like the open design here, okay? We've got no rod tubes, and this just a cavernous rod locker I can shove a lot of rods into. We'll also bring our attention here to show you this has a blower system. It has a vent system, blows air in all your compartments. That big stainless striker plate, and I like this, is something that I don't see in a lot of boats, this little rubber rest that the lid comes down and shuts on. And again, we see how deep these channels, these are the deepest water channels that I've ever seen, which obviously the premise here is the water comes into these channels and it drains properly, drains away. All right, on the other side, we're going to have another gel coated rod locker here. We can still get rods in here or tackle. Basically a mirror image of what we had over there. The whole floor of the Ikon boat is this cool honeycomb design. And I don't know if it was planned out or not, but I thought it was kind of like, if you all remember Hydrosports, they had the honeycomb logo. So I don't know if that was a little bit of retro, you know, kind of slipping that into the design, or just by it happened, but the floor has got that honeycomb shape. Now this cooler, okay, is absolutely, that is the biggest cooler I've ever seen in a boat. It's got a drain in it, super heavy lid, big gasket. You know, the only thing that I'm seeing here I wish they would have done is I wish they'd have put some sort of sandwich tray or something there to put, you know, to put like sandwiches and stuff in. I don't know if that's something they just didn't get around to doing, but I think what makes up for it is that cooler is it's absolutely enormous. It's a giant, truly a giant cooler. Like it a lot, makes for a nice step onto the front. With that, we have another compartment here that is friction hinge, so I can barely open this up, all right? And we've got a center compartment here that is gonna give me a little net that I can shove things into, okay? And I like that. It'd be a perfect place to keep keys or something like that. Again, I love this little friction hinge. I think that's pretty cool. Let's see how far can we put it down before it falls. So we can almost put it halfway down before it falls. Console sleek. You can see we don't have any access underneath it because we don't need it, because we can access it from the front. Okay. Mounting system for depth finder. Okay. This is just a single mount, but you know we'll be able to easily factory mount two graphs here if we like. So seats. Anybody that's watched any of my videos know I'm kind of a seat connoisseur, and I mean honestly, when you're spending this kind of bucks for a boat, you know this is a big luxurious boat that we're running. We're not buying a 22-foot bass boat to run around a farm pond. We're buying this to go down Champlain. We're buying this to run Kentucky Lake. We're buying this to navigate the California Delta. We want comfort. So my first impression of the seats are they feel good. They feel firm. So I don't want to say that the most comfortable seats I've ever sat in, but I will tell you the most comfortable seats I've ever sat in are not very comfortable after about 2 years when they break in. These feel soft yet firm, where I think they've got a little room to break in. But what I like about it is I don't feel crowded, and yet I don't feel like the seats are like enormous. They tastefully look really cool. These fiberglass on the back here, we can pan over that in a second. Fiberglass on the back and the fiberglass shell of the seat add an element of class to me that's second to none. They're fully adjustable, okay? And one thing I want you to notice, if you've ever watched any of my other videos and I try to show you how the seats adjust and it looks like like they never work. This is smooth. This is yacht quality, saltwater quality. I pull a pin, they slide. I am comfortable personally, you know, with the seat all the way back in my case, okay? Or I could come up all the way like this. So I think it's going to accommodate people, you know, 6 foot plus, you know, down in the five plus range. So I like the seats. I'd say the seats are a win. The dash, elegant, simple. I love this fiberglass dash. Okay, we have a touch panel system in here. All right. That's pretty cool. First of all, it comes up, it's got the Ikon badging, and we're gonna see that here it's displaying my trim, it's displaying my voltage, my temp, my gas range, okay? We can go to this button here, and it will allow me to control all these different elements, okay? You know, accessories can be, you know, for example here, you know, bilge. I can turn the bilge on and off, okay? That's the blower system that I talked about earlier. You can probably hear it humming in the background. I have access to my bow and helm depth finders here, okay? Really cool stuff here. Turn our courtesy lights on. They're down here. All of our different lights on, including the backup switches on the dash, which we'll get into in a moment here, okay? Go back here to Ikon, fishing features. It shows us the live well temperature. How many times have you wanted to know that? The temperature of live wells, our battery trolling, fuel, okay? Come back here, we got our live well controls, all right? Pump out, recirculate, fill, starboard. It talks about our fish IV, which is the G-juice. We have total access to all of that right here, all right? Pump out, hear the pump out running. turn the pump out off. All right, we go back and we've got our tunes, we can turn it on. All right, a lot of other settings, we can go to vessel settings, brightness, night, units, okay, software versions. This is an awesome system, okay? It's part of the price you're paying for this boat. This is an expensive item. Now, you get us old fuddy-duddies, we've been around the business forever, our salty dogs have been in this boat business our whole life. We go, that panel's gonna fail. Because, I mean, we've lived through a lot of panels that have failed. So Ikon's already thought of that. We come over here, and we've got our basic functions are still on touch panel. So if this fails, you know, something were to go wrong here, we still have the manual good old-fashioned switches. And I think that's something that Wheeler really wanted on the boat, you know. Actually, it was one of the things, you know, Wheeler said he asked me, he said, Sean, as a dealer, what's one of the things that, you know, when we originally were looking at this that you don't like? And I said, I don't like the idea of that touch panel. If it fails, what do I do? So Ikon's got us covered there. Looking underneath here a little bit more, here's one of my favorite things, cell phone holder, okay? You're running a business, I'm always charging that cell phone on the water, and I've got a nice place to store my cell phone, okay? More USB charging ports, right? What's one thing I don't like about the boat? I talked to him about it. I don't like how low this key is down here, okay? A lot of the boats originally, they were going to sell them with the Mercury digital throttle and shift motors that you can actually start from the thing. So this is a little low, but I mean, you know, come on, we're getting nitpicky here. I mean, so far everything I'm seeing on this boat's a win. I wish they would have put the key up here. Maybe that's something they will actually consider doing later. I'd like to have that key right here, where it's nice and it's up high. It's up high for me. Okay. So hot foot on a slide, kind of what we expect. I do like their hot foot is not at an angle; it's straight forward. So I like their hot foot is straight forward. I like that their hot foot they have a nice rest right here. Okay, very comfortable cockpit. Cockpit gets a 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10 on the cockpit for me, which is an area that I think is underrated. You spend a lot of time graphing, you spend a lot of time driving, need to be comfortable. Now, the Livewell systems, all right, first thing you're going to notice is how heavy, not in a bad way heavy, but how insulated these lids are. These lids, like you'd have to see this to believe it. Like these are super insulated Livewell lids. We've got a really deep Livewell. They've put a lot of thought into the color, this ocean blue in here, okay? And this again, it has the automatic where the G-juice is going to automatically inject. Now, one feature that this boat has that we didn't opt for on this floor model is you can actually get a chiller plate. You can actually get a cooled Livewell, okay? And I think that's really just depends on where you fish, okay? I mean, is it something that I think that you need? It's a cool feature. I'm sure we're going to have people order it. It's an expensive option. I didn't feel like it was something that I was going to order for a stock boat. But a cool feature nonetheless. We jumped out of the inside of the boat out here for a second to show you a really cool, another cool feature of the Livewells. I feel like of all boat companies, Ikon has really thought the Livewell system. Now, what is one of the biggest pains in the butt when you got your tournament bag? It's pumping that water out, right? So one of two things happens when you pump that water out. Either A, the water shoots out back here, hits your motor cowling, or usually hits me in the eye, you know, I got some muddy water in my eyes, or you pull up next to somebody you don't like and you turn the pump out on and it shoots over into their boat. No, we wouldn't do that, I'm joking. But always kind of a pain in the rear, and a lot of pump outs just don't fill your bag up. Ikon's thought this one through, so check this out. We've got this hose system right here, okay? It's gonna take right here. We're gonna take this, pull this little thing up right here, all right? And this pops in, and look, check it out. Your buddy can hold your Livewell bag. You put the hose down in your Livewell bag. Look, you turn this little valve on, and you fill your Livewell bag up. How cool is that, all right? I wish somebody would have done this years ago. I mean, you know, you're rolling up, you got your 30-pound sack, you got the dirty 30, you're looking cool, man, you're looking tough. Next thing you know, you shoot water in your face, man, and you lose that moment, you know? So really cool, easy to connect, easy to disconnect, Livewell pump out system that we can just take the hose, just stow it away back in here when we're not using it. So last but not least, every Ikon boat's going to come with this little box. Now, again, Ikon is a company they're really trying to give the customer a premium experience. You know, they've got the little die-cast model, but every box is going to come with a little personal gift from Ikon. And inside this, we've got a little handwritten, sealed note from Jacob Wheeler. We're getting a special Ikon hat and a couple of coffee mugs, a couple other little freebies here. I know someone's gonna go, oh, you buy a boat, you know, you better get a hat and stuff. Well, they're doing something. They're trying to make this special for the owner, and I appreciate a company doing that. I hope you have enjoyed one of the first glimpses of the Ikon boat. Again, I know there's been a couple videos out there already. Actually, we had the first video ever, first footage of this boat, but we kind of held off. We were told to kind of hold off, so some other guys out there, they got some stuff, and of course they did some great videos. But this is the first boat available to the public. What can you count on with Wieda's Marine? Well, you know, you can assure one thing. I'm not just going to carry any brand here. You know, the brands that we carry are brands that I believe in the companies. And believing in the company goes beyond just believing in the way the boat rides and handles and things like that. Okay, I have to have a company I know is going to support my customers. It's going to generate enough product for me to sell. We're a high volume dealer. We're a top dealer for some of the best brands in the business. So if I have a boat company that's only going to sell me a few boats, that doesn't do me any good. So I want a boat company that can deliver both service and product. I want a company that's got passion, and I believe Ikon has that. You can count on us that we're going to keep a good selection of these. You're going to count on us to have the buying power to take your trade-ins. Pricing, I know you're all going to want me to post pricing, okay? You get into these higher-end boats, man, that's just something that, you know, that the companies don't like you to do, and we just don't do. They are expensive boats. They're going to be one of the more expensive brands of boats on the market. So they're not going to be for everybody, okay? And, you know, people are going to say, oh, these boats are so expensive. Well, that's why I have 10 different brands of boats. That's why I have used boats. That's why we have all these things. But this is for the ultra premium buyer that wants a super high quality boat. They want something that not everybody has. And I think they're hitting the nail on the head with that. Proud of Jacob for all he's accomplished in the sport, being affiliated with this company, and I'm excited. So you want an Ikon boat, you know how to get it. You're going to call that famous number, 859-647-BOAT, or reach out to us, sales at Wieda's Marine. We are your new home for Ikon boats.